Welcome to the 5150 style guitar methods. I'm Mutz Marsh, the Eddie Van Halen geek. This channel explains how I understand and apply Eddie Van Halen's playing style. To me, Eddie Van Halen is like a map you unfold on a journey. A map isn't very meaningful if you just hold it or look at it casually, but if you have a destination and you're looking for answers, the answers are already written there. If we compare it to a map on a smartphone, it's like the deeper you zoom in, the more detailed information rises up from within. On the other hand, if you don't try to learn more, the information will stay buried forever, unnoticed. That's kind of fascinating, isn't it? In the recordings and videos Eddie Van Halen left behind, there are reasons why Eddie was Eddie, what I call the EVH-isms. I'm a traveler exploring the guitar world, unfolding the map of Eddie Van Halen. I'm a treasure hunter digging for the riches known as the EVH code, the elements that shaped Eddie himself. The goal of this journey is to bring everything, guitar tone, rhythm, every technique and scale, improvisation, and even songwriting, closer to Eddie's level. It's not about the gear, but about pursuing the truth of the sound that only Eddie's two hands could create. That search for his secrets through listening, that's the core of my journey. The journey is fun, and it never gets boring. And I'm not just a traveler, I'm also your navigator. Through this channel, I'll share with you the essence of rock guitar that Eddie taught me on this journey. Are you ready? Let's set off together on an adventure into the 5150 guitar world. This time I'll talk about how to apply Eddie Van Halen's Eruption tapping to improvisation. The smallest unit of Eddie's tapping is this kind of three-note phrase. Eddie strung together these three notes one after another to create Eruption. The most famous and simplest tapping phrase in the world is this Eruption lick. At the time, it shocked and inspired guitarists all over the world and later evolved into many forms. It was truly a revolutionary technique and phrase, and it all started from this group of three notes. Eruption is perfect for sharpening your tapping fundamentals. Once you can play it, you'll be able to apply it in many different situations, so definitely give it a try. The hardest part to copy from Eruption's tapping is the very last repeated section. In terms of chords, this is the climax section of Eruption, repeating between B and E minor. The key point is the quick movement of the left hand going back and forth by a half step. The most important thing is to be able to link your fingers smoothly without thinking. Practice until each finger moves in order and unconsciously. Eddie's speed and sense of momentum are the standard. Aim for that as you practice. By the way, when Eddie was in good shape live, his speed was much faster and the final repetition much longer. He slows down at first to build up power, and then suddenly speeds up. That speed and energy are godlike. The fact that he plays all the way through while maintaining coordination between both hands, this is the true greatness of a pioneer. It's clearly the result of focused training. Let's now explore how to adapt Eruption's climax into a pentatonic phrase for improvisation. Eddie's tapping can be used arpeggio style over chords, and is a powerful weapon for building fast phrases. As I said before, the basic form is 3 notes. As an advanced application of the climax from Eruption, let's try creating a similar movement using the F-sharp minor pentatonic scale. The positions to use are the left hand on frets 2nd and 5th, and the right hand on 7th fret. Just like Eruption, create a 3-note melody on the 2nd string. The 7-2-5 positions are the basic 3 notes. This part should be easy, right? Next, after repeating these 3 notes twice, lower the left hand position by a half step across the entire fretboard. This will create the melody 7-1-4. Once you've done this, repeat the entire sequence twice. After repeating twice, play the 7-2-5 position again 2 times, and finish with a combination of a bend plus 1 tap. For a sample of transitioning from tapping to bending, solos from You Really Got Me and I'm the One are useful references. Before the bend, the repetition of the 3 notes might sound a little off, but this is likely because I'm waiting for the right timing for the bend. For example, I make it easier to hit the timing by reversing the last part of the tapping. In F-sharp minor pentatonic, the basic position is 7-2-5, but right before the bend, I reverse it to 7-5-2 for better timing. This is a slightly different method from Eddie's, so use it as a reference. I'm not too strict about it. Next, let's add the same movement on the first string in the same position, not just on the second string. As expected, the left hand is on 2nd and 5th fret, and the right hand is on 7th fret. By alternating between the 2nd and 1st strings, you'll create a phrase similar to what Eddie often plays. After repeating this vertical motion a few times, add the horizontal movement from the previous section. I learned this through Poundcake. Let's watch Eddie's performance. From the beginning of the phrase to the bend, try to play as fast as possible. Don't think about the details. The closer you get to extreme speed, the more it feels like Eddie. It's important to feel the rhythm and beats from a bird's eye view. While you're holding the bend, figure out the timing to enter the next phrase. You can also create variations by extending the tapping position horizontally. For example, start from the standard 7th fret as a bass, then add 2 frets above, then 3 more after that. Keep the timing and combination between your right and left hands exactly the same. Move the right hand position from 7th fret to 9th fret to 12th fret. Watch your finger carefully to tap accurately. In addition to expanding the first string, you can also extend the bend plus 1 tap to 2, 3, or even 4 taps. From the position where you bend, you can add taps 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, or 12th frets higher. For now, being able to use the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 8th frets ahead should be enough. Combining everything covered up to here allows you to make fairly long solos. In this lesson, we explored how to slightly expand on Eddie's basic 3-note tapping pattern from Eruption and apply it to improvisation. There are different interpretations about what note Eddie actually starts the basic 3-note tapping pattern on in Eruption. To explain this using numbers starting from the lowest note of the 3, I originally thought of it as 1, 2, 3 in my head. Until recently, I counted that way, but now I think of it as 3, 1, 2. What triggered this change was realizing that in many of Eddie's tapping phrases, 3 is the starting note. I decided to try rewriting Eruption using 3 as the starting note. When I did that, I noticed that the notation looked much cleaner when 3 was the starting point. It was easier to understand, so I completely changed to using 3 as the starting point. The reason I originally thought 1 was the starting point was because of the very last part of Eruption. If you consider the final note of the tapping as the rhythmic starting point, then it clearly lands nicely. If you start on 3, the ending feels slightly off, which might divide opinions. In any case, I now play Eruption with 3 as the starting note. It doesn't change what you play at all, and listeners won't notice the difference. But when actually playing, it became harder for me. Even though I feel the rhythm from 3, my ears hear it as starting from 1. Because of that mismatch, the coordination between my fingers breaks down, and I can't play it well. It made me realize how fast human reaction actually is. Just being off by 1 note's timing can make it hard to play. It's kind of like a mental block, and I'm still struggling with it, though I'd like to think I've improved a bit. Everyone, please be mindful of this too.
Yes, that's all for this issue. How did it go? If you like it, please give us a high rating and subscribe to my channel. High ratings and channel subscriptions are my best motivation. Best regards. I will continue to upload useful information for rock guitarists, so don't miss it. Again, what I show in the 5150 style video is just an example of how I understand and utilize the Eddie Van Halen technique. There are 10 different interpretations of the technique for every 10 people, so it's up to you how you use what you learn. It may sound contradictory to say this when I am in the position of posting videos on YouTube, but to be clear, the most important part of music and guitar cannot be learned from YouTube videos. It is important to be willing to use your ears to learn and to be generous with your time. It is very important to feel the nuance and feeling with your ears. Even if it is wrong, it is very important to spend time thinking, how is it played? And try this and that, and it is very important to spend that time. There are no shortcuts. That is why I want you to spend as much time as you can with the notes. That's what I think. The watchword is keep on rocking, right? See you soon. Bye-bye.